So after the events of Avengers Endgame, an alternate version of Loki is brought to the mysterious TVA, the Time Variance Authority, where they give Loki a choice: face being erased from existence due to being a time variant, or help fix the timeline and stop a greater threat. Alright, so I loved WandaVision. Every episode of WandaVision left me with a question, and I had to wait. And me and everyone else, we all had to wait another week to get our questions answered. And I liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier not as much as WandaVision, but the first three episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier I liked. The back half I loved. 4 through 6 I loved. I loved that. I love that the back half of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So here we are with Loki. All right. So I thought like the performances were amazing, especially the star of the show, Tom Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston really brings more emotion to the character, of more emotion and a little bit of sadness, um, to the character of Loki. Like he's so. Oh, by the way, I should mention. Yes, it's been a while. It's been a few couple days. So you had time to rewatch the show over and over again. So yes, there will be spoilers. So be warned. So yeah. So going in. Um. So yeah, Tom Hiddleston was amazing. So yeah, Tom Hiddleston's amazing as Loki. But I really did love Owen Wilson. Like I remember the first trailer came out. Like the first time I saw the trailer, I didn't recognize. I didn't recognize it was Owen Wilson. That was Owen Wilson. Like the makeup on him looked like the makeup on him made him so unrecognizable. Like I had a difficult time. Like, oh my god, that. Oh wait, that's Owen Wilson. I had to watch a video like saying that's Owen Wilson. Like, oh my god, I didn't recognize that was Owen, but he was amazing. I loved Owen Wilson as Mobius, who is part of the TVA. He works for the TVA, and then we also have this variant, this Loki variant, who reveals herself to be Sylvie, who I was like, oh my god, Sylvie, I recognize that name. That's Enchantress. I mean, she has Enchantress, um, she has enchantments powers. So I was like, I kept calling her Enchantress, while like there were people calling her Lady Loki, but I call her Enchantress. But anyway, she doesn't consider herself to be a Loki. She just using the name Sylvie as an alias. Um, so yeah, so she's like a combination. So she was inspired. She was a combination of both the Sylvie Lushton Enchantress and a combination of Lady Loki from the comics. But she's a totally different character, totally different person than from the comics. But anyway, here we are. So, and I thought the actress playing her, Sophia, um, Di Martino. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. But anyway, I thought she was amazing. As Sylvie. So here we are. You know, when this show when this season was released one by one by one, I actually loved it. I really enjoyed it. This past 6 weeks, I really enjoyed it. And then after the finale, I rewatched the entire season one. I binged watched it, and it went by so fast. And that's not a good thing, by the way. Let me clarify. That's not a good thing. This season went by so fast and so quickly. Okay, so Loki is arrested and he's brought into the TVA, and then like the second and third episode, he helps the TVA and Owen Wilson to track down this Loki variant who reveals herself to be who, like I said, doesn't consider herself to be a Loki, and it's Sylvie. And she reveals herself, and then in episode 4, they kind of they bonded. In episode 4, they bonded. Sylvie and Loki, they bonded with each other, and they go face these sacred timekeepers, and they find out that they're fake, that these timekeepers are fake, and they're trying to figure out, okay, so if the if the timekeepers are not real, then who the hell created the TVA? And then episode 5, and then Loki got pruned, which leads into episode 5, where he meets other alternate versions of other variants of himself, including President Loki, which was amazing, and also Kid Loki, but also Richard E. Grant as Loki, like a classic Loki. Like he was Loki, but he was dressed up in a classic Loki comic book costume. Oh my god, it was so amazing to see. So yeah, and then episode 6 was the big cliffhanger, and also Jonathan Majors. Oh my god, left on. You could say that the season 1 left off on a major cliffhanger. But yeah, I just like I was like, wait a minute, oh my god, wait a minute, that's Jonathan Major. That's Jonathan Majors. He's gonna play Kang. Well, he's not Kang in this show. He's a variant. He plays he who remains, who is a combination of the character and also Immortus, which is like a future version of Kang. But yeah, it was. I was like, oh my god, this show is that finale. Well, I don't know about the show, but that finale is setting up the next decade, the next chapter, the next saga of the MCU, and I cannot wait. Like, oh my god, it's gonna be crazy with and time traveling and multiverse are going to be the two biggest thing in the next in the next decade of the MCU, which is pretty amazing and pretty exciting. But yeah, so here we are. So yeah, like I said, the show went by so fast. Like it's so fast paced. It went by so fast. Like I said, it's just, and looking back at it, there really isn't, because the show went by so fast. Like it just goes. It really doesn't take. I mean, yeah, it does take a couple breaks, having characters sit down and actually talk with each other, but it's not enough. There wasn't enough time. It wasn't enough for them to like. It just goes straight to the plot. The show went straight to the plot. It just kept going. It just kept going, and I would have liked. I mean, if I it's a nitpick of mine, but I would have liked to have a little breather, like a little calmness here and there. But like so yeah, and also when it comes to character development, I mean, there really isn't. There really isn't any any character development or any room to like breathe, and to calm down and breathe and to grow. There really isn't enough time, you could say. There really isn't enough time to sit down and to take a break, to take a breather, and just have these characters talk and grow. Yeah, there were a couple times, but it's not enough. But yeah, I will say that if I have to, comparing Loki to Falcon and the Winter Soldier and WandaVision, it's not as great as those two. Unfortunately, Loki, this show is season 1, because the show has been renewed for a second season. But so far, season 1 of Loki, if it's a little bit of a disappointment. I thought it was okay. I thought this show was okay. It was, it was above average. It was above average. It was okay. Comparing it to Loki, comparing it to Falcon and the Winter Soldier and WandaVision, it's not as great as those two. Like I loved WandaVision, and I loved WandaVision even though I'm not a big fan of sitcoms, and I really liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier even though episode 3 the writing was off in my opinion. Like, for example, how did nobody in that bar recognize that that's Sam Wilson, Falcon, where like so and also yeah so yeah and also the bounty hunter and all the bounty hunters, like episode 3 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier was the writing was terrible, and that but and yeah so here we are with Loki. Comparing it to the others, it's not as great as those past shows in the MCU. So yeah, it is a little bit of a disappointment with Loki. But anyway, that's just me. So yeah, I guess that's it. So thank you so much for taking your time to listening to my review. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your friends and family, and I will see you soon.